All right, looks like we're at 10 o'clock here. Welcome, everybody. I think there'll be a few more trickling in here, but wanted to thank you all for joining today's webinar with Secure Video, Hidden Gems. We're hoping to showcase some of the features you may not be aware of that could help your practice or clinic. Jump through. My name is Josh Hitt. I'm account executive. I work with our existing customers here at Secure Video. We also have Kate Brandis joining, who's the VP of Operations, Adam Leslie, who heads up our acquisition sales team, and then Michelle Don, who's Director of Product. What we're going to cover today, several different features that you may not be aware of. So first, interpretation services, and we'll talk through mass calling, our cloud recording feature, custom invites that you can use for, or custom text for invites and reminders, and then our MFA for providers, multi-factor authentication feature. We'll have some time at the end for questions, and then also wanted to get everyone's thoughts on any features that you're hoping Secure Video would have or your telehealth platform could have. But feel free to ask questions along the way. We have a Q&A chat that we'll be monitoring, and we'll hope to answer those live, and then we'll also look at those at the end to go through those. So first thing, interpretation services. So not sure if everyone's aware of this, but this is something that you can enable on your account. This helps expand access to maybe groups that you were not having as patients before. Helps overcome any language barriers you may be experiencing. This is an on-demand service, so it can be quickly added to any session. As you can see in the screenshot there, that's a scheduled session. Once it's enabled, there's a button that says Call Interpreter Now, and within a matter of minutes, you can have an interpreter join your session. As you can see, there's a drop down. When you do click that button, there's over 240 different languages that you can add. So one call out, American Sign Language, which is often helpful. And then this is also a simple utility billing model. So it's $1.25 per minute for usage of interpreter services. This is something you can contact our support team to help enable on your account. Next feature, mass calling. This is a feature that basically allows you to use an office number that'll appear in the patient's caller ID if you need to contact them. This helps your users or providers to protect against their having to use their personal mobile numbers to contact patients. It's a very quick and easy verification process. And as you can see from the screenshot of the dashboard here, there's a few different ways you can use mass calling. There's a button right at the middle of your dashboard to mass call, where you can select any contact or create a contact and mass call them from the platform. Or any scheduled session, you can see below the participant, there's a mass call button there. And the other screenshot there on the side is after you click that button, what will come up, which will look like an iPhone, and you can press the green button to call directly from the dashboard. Every account has 300 minutes included. So this is something if you're not using today, you can use it anytime. You have up to 300 minutes per month. The next feature, often really important feature here, is cloud recording. A lot of use cases we see are for whether there's training or any type of supervised clinical hours that are needed. It's also helpful just for providers to review any past sessions they have. Maybe they wanted to update their notes, forgot something, they can look back at these recordings. This is a HIPAA compliant, stored securely by Secure Video. And it's also role-based access, which means an admin can provide access to different users. They can lock down access if they don't want users to have access to recordings. And I'll jump into the demo to show a little bit more about how to set this up and the settings you can provide, but there is a retention settings. So you can have an auto delete policy on your recordings. You can store them up to a certain amount of days, or if you don't want to have them ever to delete, then you would basically have that as 0 and not have them auto delete. For pricing for this, it's based on number of recordings. So feel free to contact us if you have questions more about pricing. I'm going to jump into my demo here just to show you a few things about recordings. So this is my demo dashboard here. recording is something we need to enable on the account. So once it's enabled, as you can see, if I click new scheduled session, it pops up at the bottom, record session, and you can select record. Once you do that and click go, you can see the session that's created now shows session will be recorded, and the participant or patient on the other end will be notified via their invite reminder that the session is recorded. You can also see when recordings is enabled, the tab at the top, you can drop down recordings, click that, and you can look back, filter out, and look back through the different recordings. You can view them here. You can also bookmark certain things if you want others to maybe look at a certain period of time during recording. And this is also where you can delete, manually delete the recordings. Okay. Jump back over. The next feature here is custom text for invites and reminders. You can see the screenshot here at the bottom. This is an invite that a patient would receive. The verbiage up below is all custom. There's a text field that I'll show here in a second that you can use, but really this is great for any type of cancellation policy your practice may have, any terms of services, a link to your website or a link to another website you want your patients to see. This is a free text field, so you can write in anything you want. And this also applies to all reminders and invites across the account. So that's something to keep in mind. And I will show that feature here in the demo. So the features tab here, you can scroll to the bottom, you can see custom text. When you click into that, you can see the bottom field. I've already included this. If you haven't done this before, basically this box will be blank, and you can type in any sort of, like I mentioned, cancellation policy, terms of service, anything that you want your patients to know before they join session. So once you hit save there, that'll now be applied to all invites and reminders. Back to slide deck here. And then the last feature here, very important with the security landscape right now, is multi-factor authentication for providers. So for your users of the account, or if you're a solo practice, you want to set this up for yourself. This is basically an added layer of security. So you can think about, logging into your bank account, anything like that. You often have to use two factors authentication. This is something you can enable, an admin can enable on the account, and I'll jump back to the demo to show that. There's also a validation code expiration that can be set from 0 to 30 days. 0 meaning every time you log in, you're going to have to authenticate. But essentially, it's when you log in with your email and password, once you click to log in, you'll be given a authentication code via your mobile number that I'll show that you need to update as well in the platform. And then you'll enter that code there and hit submit, basically just allowing for, like I said, an added layer of security. And let me show real quick through the demo here. As an admin, you'll have account options here on your under the user profile. When you go there, the first drop down here is security. You're going to scroll a little bit down and you'll see use multi-factor authentication for organization users. If you set that to yes, that enables MFA. And then you can also set the number of days that you'd like that validation code to be active for. As I mentioned, users, once this is enabled, or if it's solo practice, if you enable it for your account, if you go to the user profile icon and click on your name, you'll need to update this field here, which is your mobile number, to allow for MFA, allow you to log in. I will say that Secure Video does recommend enabling this, just with all of the basically cybersecurity threats that are out there. I think this is a good feature to add to your account. All right. Well, that was
Josh,
quick.
I just wanted to add,
Yep.
If anybody that's following along and watching these features that Josh is covering, what you see in your Secure Video account depends on the role that you have. So if you're not seeing for example, under features, that custom text, or if you're not seeing account options under the profile icon, it could be that you just have a different role. And the account administrator on your account would need to be the one to enable some of these features that Josh is covering today. So don't be alarmed or think that it's not something that's available to you. Just remember that sometimes it may be an admin that has to do it, and then you can always reach out to support for help.
Good call out there. So from there, yeah, no questions so far, but wanted to open up to any questions. The Q&A is open. And also, we wouldn't mind taking down just any sort of features that maybe you wish Secure Video had, maybe you wish your telehealth platform had. We'd love to hear about those and see how we can potentially add them to our platform.
Yeah, please look down across the bottom of your screen. You should see a Q&A button, and you can use that to submit questions.
Hey, Kate, in the meantime, do you want to speak to the new high trust certification?
Oh, sure. Yeah, this was a recent announcement from Secure Video. The Secure Video platform recently obtained our high trust R2 certification, which is a pretty rigorous security certification that we have been working on for quite some time now. So we're really proud of the accomplishment. There's going to be more. There's a release that we just posted on our website if you want to learn more about that. But this is just, while we're talking about features like multi-factor authentication and the cybersecurity landscape, this definitely comes into play. It's a big part of what we've been working on for the last certainly year and a half or more.
Looks like one of the questions come in from mass calling. Can you call internationally? Michelle looks like she's answered it, but just to call out for everybody, that's a good call out here. It's only meant for calling within the United States. Wanted to make sure that was everybody in the group knew that. So I got a few more hopping in here.
Looks like someone asked, can anyone in Secure Video see recorded sessions? That's a great question. So the sessions that are in Secure Video that are stored, if you record a session, are available by default to the host, the person who actually hosted the session that was recorded, and to the account administrator of the account. So if you have the admin role or the host role, you're able to see that recording. Now, if you are the host and another host in your organization is also on the account, they could not see the recording that you have stored, unless there's a situation where you want to share those recordings among your team. You do have the capability to either manually, or you can set up certain recording sharing groups in the platform where you can share it one-off with a colleague, or you can set it up to where recordings are automatically shared with other users. In regards to participants, there are also capabilities to share a recorded session with the participant. And this comes into play oftentimes when you see a use case like a pharmacy consultation, or even we've had some speech therapists that use the platform who they need to share the recorded session with their participant afterwards so they can gain some feedback from the session. So we do offer the ability to share that externally with a participant in a secure and HIPAA compliant way, which is something that people sometimes need and aren't often easy to find. The way it does this is that it would require the participant's email address and cell phone number. So the same way that Josh was talking about multi-factor authentication, it makes sure that you have the right participant that you're sharing this recorded session with. So they would get the email invitation, then they'd be asked to put in a texted code to be able to see the recording. Okay. Hopefully that answers questions about cloud recording. Let's see, we have one that says, we just had a question regarding recurring booking features. We do a lot of group work at our clinic, so being able to set up the sessions in one go is a great option for getting it situated quickly. We often have to make changes to specific sessions after they've been booked, as people sometimes wish to join certain sessions later on. Let's see. Yeah, so can we go through, Josh, you want to bring up the just the dashboard, and let's look at the recurrence real quick and see if we can maybe answer a question.
Hopefully Paul, okay, perfect, got it. Pull the demo back up.
Yeah.
I do have recurring
Oh,
session
perfect.
here.
Okay. So yeah, here's an example of a recurring session. It's, when you set up recurrence on a session, it's taking that first session that you establish, especially if it's a large group. And then what it's doing is when that session has ended that night, when the dashboard resets, it's going to go ahead and create that next session. So you don't see the future sessions on your dashboard until each one has already passed. But you can come in here and click this link right on that initial session where you've created the recurrence and open up this calendar view here. So if you notice, you can click ahead. See, there's all the sessions that are scheduled in the rest of June. Josh could even click out into July and see the future recurrences there just by clicking on that calendar. Oh, I guess there aren't any, sorry.
Yep.
But if you need to make a change to a future recurring session, you can just click on the calendar date there. Like, for example, if he wanted to click on the 21st and you could change the recurrence, you could remove that recurrence or change the time of that particular one. Now, if it's a situation where like there's a person in the group who, is going to be leaving the group after a few sessions, you would have to wait until that session is created and on the dashboard in order for that person to, to edit that specific individual participant. Yes. So I hope that answers your question. But that's some of the capabilities around recurrence. Okay. Let's see if we've got any others in the queue. Okay, yes, there was one from Peter asked if I do massed calling, presumably the recipient will call back or text back to the phone and not the secure video platform. That's correct. So mass calling is basically a voice over IP. You're just calling out from the platform using your device's speakers and microphone. So what they'll see is the number that you have verified in your system, such as your main office number. When that participant receives the call, they'll see that number on the caller ID. So if they were to try to call back and return the call, it would go to that main office line. If they try to text it, it just depends on if you have, SMS texting available for that number. But yeah, that's the number that they would see. So the whole intention is for you to be able to call from any device just using your secure video dashboard, even if that's on your smartphone, and for you to be able to keep your personal cell phone number, for example, concealed. Hence the name masked calling. Great. That's all the questions I'm seeing at the moment. If anybody else has any, please go ahead and feel free. And then too, we'd love to, as Josh said, take any, feature requests. We'd love to know if there's anything that you would like to see from Secure Video that it's not currently able to do. Oh, here's a question. Can any Secure Video staff access the recordings? Eloise, maybe you can clarify, do you mean our staff like at Secure Video, like on the back end of the platform? Are you talking about yes, okay. Yes, so Secure Video, because of our support access and support level permissions, would have access to recordings. But again, that's covered under our business associate agreement with each of our customers. These are, as we understand, sometimes the most highly sensitive PHI that's available. And so we take that security and privacy very seriously. All right. Okay, Paul asks, RE forms and electronic signing. Oh, looks like maybe this question wasn't completed. Can you use this as a legal signature? Yes. So our e-document feature does capture signatures from both participants, and then the host has the capability to countersign a document as well. And they are digitally stamped with the date and time of signature. This is a legally binding electronic signature. Yes. Thanks for all these great questions.
Yeah. And I'll just reiterate too, if anybody has any feature requests or things they're hoping to see within Secure Video, feel free to put those in the Q&A as well.
Mhm. Are the documents signed by host and client stored in the cloud? Are they emailed to participants and then destroyed? So documents are stored in your Secure Video account as long as your account is active. They can be deleted by the host within the Secure Video account, but unless they're deleted, they're just going to be stored there in your Secure Video account. So yes, in the cloud. Participants, if they have a document that they've signed or as part of their session, they'd be able to view it and download a copy from their virtual waiting room page. So the same page where they got their link and went to join their session, if they had any documents assigned or completed, they'd be able to view or download that document from there. Right, no other open questions at the moment. We'll maybe give it another minute, see if anybody has any others. All right, Josh, no more questions are coming in.
All right. Well, we'll have this is recorded, so we'll have this up on our website and you can pull from that, or we can also send it to you if you'd like. And yeah, just feel free to reach out, jhood@SecureVideo.com if you need anything, or we have support@SecureVideo.com that you can reach out if you want to go into any more detail around some of these features. All right. Appreciate everybody's time today.
Thanks so much,
Thank you.
everybody, for joining. Take care. Thank you.